What's up, guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. This is Seth Kills, and today we're going to be talking about She-Hulk episode 3. And let's just get right into it. I'll share my thoughts after we talk about the episode. But the episode, and this, by the way, is going to be a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it, just want to give you a fair warning before we talk about the plot. But the show starts off, Blonsky scene saying, that it wasn't his fault, giving Jen Wong's name and position. Um, I don't know what about this version of Abomination. Like, he's just too relaxed. Like, like he's been smoking like weed up in that cell a little bit, and I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna be doing with him. If he's really gonna be, you know, is he gonna be basically a good guy now? Is he gonna be part of the Thunderbolts? But I don't know. We'll see, I guess. It seems like they're going to be pushing him to be like a good guy. Um, he was just basically telling Jen in this scene too that he was forced to leave the cell and he returned under his own free will. Jen contacted her assistant in the next scene looking up Wong's like information online, and it looks like it's some type of like Facebook or LinkedIn profile, which I have right here actually. I just take a picture of it real quick. And I don't know if this is supposed to be LinkedIn or is this supposed to be Twitter or whatever, because it doesn't really say. It shows that his former employer is Target and he used to be a sales associate, so I kind of got a kick out of that. It says that he has 802 followers. So, I mean, you figure, he saved the world a couple times already. He's been in pretty much every Marvel Phase 4 property. Figure he have a little bit more than 802 followers, but I guess that's just my opinion. Um, and another thing too, Jen's assistant says that she gotten a hold of Wong by sending a thirst trap. And basically, she said that she sent him a picture of her holding a bunch of books because in Wong's profile said that he was a librarian. So I guess we're leaning more towards the Thor Love and Thunder side of the comedy. But we get a little bit more fourth wall action. Jen telling us don't expect a cameo each episode. Um, then names out 3 cameos that we had, and it's only episode 3, so we've had pretty much a cameo every single episode. Says don't, after she realizes that we've had one every episode, she says, don't forget whose show this is, which is the She-Hulk's show. We definitely haven't forgotten. We get reminded a lot. And the next scene, we get this news report, and this happens within 30 seconds. And I'll just kind of like list it. And these are actually comments that are happening during the news report. And, anyways, so let me start here. Ever since she came out as She-Hulk, she's been facing public backlash on if she is qualified. And this is where the scene starts off as like a news report, and then it goes on to like a Spanish news station where in the Spanish news station they say hashtag the big green woman. And then there's this like douchey white guy or white dude doing a vlog saying that so they took Hulk's manhood and gave it to a woman. I don't know. I don't know what this is, to be honest. These are just comments that I wrote down that was actually said. And then next comment says Me Too movement. That's what it says in the little news header. And then another white dude saying, I have no problem with female heroes. just saying to make your own. I don't know if these are like real videos or if they're just, reading real posts or vlogs or, you know, Twitter posts and stuff like that. And they're just putting it into the script as kind of like a joke. I don't know. But I don't know what the creators are trying to tell us. And then we have, it doesn't really show who's talking, but we have this, another verbal comment. And it says, and I quote, "I don't get it. Why are you turning every superhero into a girl?" It says this actually in the show. Like, this is not stuff I'm saying. Okay? This is the stuff that the show is saying in this little 30-second newsreel. And another comment, so we have a Me Too movement, and now all the male heroes are gone. And another dude talking about She-Hulk saying, "I don't know about y'all, but I'd smash." So, I don't know. I don't know. I guess this is supposed to be comedy. It's supposed to be funny, guys. I mean, a lot of this is like, I mean, I don't know, like if they're reading posts, um, or they're watching like, reviews and changing the script to put all this stuff in, or if they've, read our worries and fears before the show actually came out and they actually finished the script before they actually finished the script. I don't know, but it seems a little too on the nose for me. But maybe that's the comedy in it. I don't know. Um, there's a scene where Jen comes back into the office and it's daytime and the sun is like beaming through her office window. And I gotta say, the CJ is a little wonky here, but overall, like every other episode, I thought the actors did well, um, with the dialogue they were given in the scripts. Jen thinks after the Abomination case, she still thinks this, and she says this throughout a couple times in the episode, that she thinks her life will get back to normal after she's done with the Abomination case. Like, I don't know how she still thinks that. Um, and then we get introduced to douchey white dude from the first episode in the first scene that they slammed the door on and kind of had him in the office for no reason. This is like 5 minutes in the episode, so we're still only 5 minutes in. But the douchey white dude comes into the office and basically looking for an attorney because he's been frauded by this Asgardian, shapeshifter that pretended that she was this pop star and made her like buy her a car and all these other expensive stuff. But yeah, the scene plays out. He goes in, he asks for help, says that he won't work with Jennifer, says he's not comfortable and that they have too much history. Dennis is the douchebag's name, by the way. He, in this scene, while they're talking about the case and while he's saying that he's not going to work with Jennifer, he hits on Mallory Book, who walks in. And I guess she's like part of the superhuman legal team. And in a very douchey way, says that I can't talk uh, to a 10 because I'm guessing that he's really attracted to her. So he says that I can't talk to a 10 about embarrassing man stuff because she could be my next fiance. Then he winks at her, all douchey like. So, what the fuck? I don't know. Um, so Dennis points at the male. I mean, that girl that he hit on left the room at this point, and Dennis points at the male attorney in the room and says, "Is he a lawyer? He looks cool. I'll take him." I shit you not. This is actually dialogue that's said, and I'm just repeating word for word. Supposedly, this is comedy. So trying to be, I mean, I feel like the attorney's trying to act like Tony Stark, but he's just not doing a good job. He's not like Tony Smart. He's smart with his dialogue, and this guy is just not. Um, so apparently, he needs help, obviously, because he's frauded. So we find out later on that male lawyer that was in the room ends up taking the case. Um, so Wong comes in during this scene and takes Jennifer, into basically a private meeting real quick. And Wong, I gotta say, is dumber than usual. I mean, the dialogue he has does not do him any favors. Uh, Talking about not erasing anybody's memory anymore, like he's the one that did it on in Spider-Man No Way Home. Uh, Says he took Blanksy against his wishes because he required a worthy opponent for his Sorcery Supreme training. So he just, I guess, kidnapped him so he can pass a test to get his Sorcerer Supreme merits badge, I guess. I don't know. But that's how he explains it. He suggests sending Blonsky some reason during this conversation. He suggests sending Blonsky to the mirror dimension, or the shadow dimension. And I'm just thinking to myself, what is happening in this scene? I don't know. I mean, isn't sending Blonsky, if he's the one that took him, basically kidnapped him, why would he punish him by sending him to the mirror dimension or the shadow dimension? Why is that even being discussed? I mean, oh, I don't know. Um, so yeah, I mean, Wong, it didn't do Wong any favors being in this episode. Uh, so Dennis and the male lawyer that took his case are having a scene, and apparently we figure out that overall he's given the Asgardian girl shapeshifter $175,000. And this scene was very, very cringe. Very cringe. A lot of stuff in this episode was a lot of very cringy. Then he walks back in after figuring out and explaining the situation and figuring out a little bit more about the case. So Dennis walks out and then some reason walks back in and then decides to drop the case. We find out that the reason why he came back in to drop the case is because it ends up being the shapeshifter. And then the shapeshifter turns into that lawyer that took the case and then walks out and walks in front of a bunch of lady, like either receptionists or paralegals or attorneys, I don't know, but they're all girls, and says to the ladies that I love harassing women at work, for a joke as he walks out. So I don't know. And then the real lawyer comes out and says to the women paralegals, attorneys, or receptionists, whichever, says, you all know me. I wouldn't, do that. So again, cringy line for a cringy joke. So Jen walking into the prison. This is another scene. Supposedly the reporter in this scene says that it's been rumored that Jen Walters has been rejected by the Avengers as she was walking by the reporter into the prison. I wasn't even aware that she applied or if this is just, hearsay. But they're, in this scene, they're having some type of council meeting. His 7 soulmates come into the prison and I guess are just witnessing it and kind of like their cheerleaders of the scene, I guess. Kind of rooting for their guy. And Blonsky kind of still acting like a happy hippie. But he's saying that he's changed spiritually and cosmically. I thought the cosmically comment was interesting. Like, has he achieved somehow cosmic powers? That is a thing. And if that is the case, how and then how much more powerful is he? But, anyways. plans on opening a meditation retreat with his 7 soulmates. And then while in this scene, while looking at his 7 soulmates, um, he says to the people that are reciting the case, there's like 6 council members or whatever, and he tells the council members and points at his soulmates. He says they're my better 1/8. Little joke there. So after Jen asked, "Are there any other questions?" They all raise their hands because of the 7 soulmates. So another question or another joke that doesn't really land too well, but I guess we can have a little smirk there because they did raise their hands immediately. When we learn while in prison that Blonsky, since he's been there, teaches inmates how to read. He leads guided meditations and yoga and saved a guard from a bad marriage. I kind of like this part, though, to be honest. I got a little kick out of this. I mean, since we're saying that Abomination is good now, at least they're giving a little backstory and a little history of his journey or why he's been good or what he's been doing lately, anyways. So I kind of did like that. So Wong is late to this little council meeting. He is the witness, and then the scene cuts hold on, into another court scene. This is where I almost forgot. So it cuts into another court scene where that Dennis character, that's the douchebag lawyer, is being represented by the nice lawyer from, Jennifer's firm now. And their whole case, the Asgardian and her lawyer is saying that claims it was a relationship gone bad, that he knew the whole time that she was a shapeshifter, and when it didn't suit him, that he wanted to break it off. So somehow, some way, it ends up going to court, and then at the end of the scene, some reason that shapeshifter turns back into the judge and then basically proves that she's guilty. So I don't know how that's going to play back into the story, but it was a very weird and awkward scene. Then we go back to the Jen and Blonsky situation where they're, with the council, and the council's worried that he can't control it, like his transformations, and that he doesn't have control. So what he does is he changes into Abomination, and everyone is scared, but he's in full control. And then he changes back into Blonsky, regular Blonsky, just to prove that he can change back and forth at will. Jen, some reason, was scared at first and figures out that this does prove he can control it. So she uses it in her case, which is kind of weird because it plays off that she's scared and then kind of awkward and then kind of like, oh, like light bulb happens, and then she uses it, as basically proving her point. But Juan is still acting a little dumb by introducing himself again when he's already introduced himself, and Jennifer's already introduced himself. And then during his testimony, he obviously tells him that it's his fault, that he's the one that broke him out of prison. So the council members remind him that he's broken the law and that, he's probably going to have to answer for it. So he just opens up a portal and leaves. I did get a little chuckle out of that. I wish that I can do that in certain situations. But so Jen and her assistant Nikki is at a bar scene, and Jen got harassed a little bit exiting the prison after the whole council court thing they were at. So she got harassed a little bit while exiting the prison, saying that monster representing a monster. So, she shared that with her assistant, but Jen still thinks once this is all over, that she'll be able to go back to her being a regular lawyer. But Nikki reminds her that's probably going to be impossible, which, I'm kind of getting tired already that she keeps saying that over and over again. But I guess maybe they're reminding us that she just doesn't want to be a hero. But so that good lawyer dude that works at the office comes in, seems to um comes in and shares his frustrations. Shares his frustrations about the douche dentist that he's representing. And then the assistant shares that she's dreamed multiple times about killing Dennis in her head in different ways. A little psychotic, but fuck it, we'll move on. Jen also shares that she thinks Dennis is gross and that good lawyer dude. I don't know. I guess that's what we'll call him. Good lawyer dude from Jen's office asks, "Are you, saying that under oath? Are you willing to say that under oath?" So basically, because Jen thinks Dennis is gross and he's a douchebag and he's kind of like a womanizer and goes between girl and girl, I guess she's witnessed that. I guess that's good enough evidence to prove that he's a douchebag and improves his case, I guess. Like I said, this whole thing really plays out really weird. And I kind of lost my train of thought there, so I apologize for that. But we get the next scene, and Jen is now the witness, helping Dennis, the douchebag. And Dennis does not like that she's there, but I mean, she's there to help him, so I don't know why he's under protest. But basically, and this is going to be weird by saying it, but basically, she helps Dennis by proving under a court of law that in fact he is a douchebag. So somehow that works, and he's awarded, the 174 whatever dollars, $100,000 from the Asgardian. But I guess this is how courts and law works in this universe. But we get back to Jen and Abomination scene, and basically the council decides to release him, but decides that he can't turn into Abomination. So that should be interesting. Blanky gives Jen a suggestion that because she's, she doesn't want to have to deal with media, she doesn't want to do any interviews, but he says that maybe you should, because it's better that you be part of the story instead of just being the story, something along those means. So she does an interview and then says on the report, whether she likes it or not, she's forever She-Hulk with a grim look. Like, she doesn't like being called She-Hulk. She doesn't like being called like that name at all. Like, the look on her face when she says that she'll be ever known as She-Hulk just looked disappointing, and I just hate that, because it's like, okay, but that's who you are, though. That's the character you're portraying, man. Be happy about it. Like, represent. But nothing was said further about the case or Blonsky in the actual interview that she did with the reporter. The reporter just asked her about that, She-Hulk thing. She answers with a grim look and basically says that we'll be back after these commercial break, and we'll share what She-Hulk's diet and exercise tips are. And that's where the scene ends. So I don't know what the point of that scene was, or what the point of the interview was. Maybe we'll find out in a later episode, but it just came off very out of place. So we cut into a mugging scene now, and now Jennifer, at the end of the episode, is getting mugged by a bunch of dudes with these space weapons, and these space weapons are like melee weapons. that do absolutely no damage to Jennifer whatsoever. So I don't know what these guys were thinking about attacking She-Hulk, but I think they were working for somebody to get some type of sample because they try to stab her with some type of knife or syringe to get maybe a, I don't know, a blood sample or something. But yeah, this episode played very, and that scene, by the way, played very cartoony. Like we're back to Thor: Love and Thunder, or even Hawkeye, um, with the whole, what did they call, sweatsuit mafia crew, like that type of cartoony bad guys. So, anyways, we get to the mid-credits scene after some credits, and she's twerking to gain a client, and she's twerking with that, rapper R&B singer that that shapeshifter was trying to pretend to be. All right, guys. So that is episode 3, and yeah, I gotta say, I mean, I thought episode when I saw episode 2 last week, I thought they were gonna tone down the woke stuff, and kind of step back from that and give us a little bit more character development, give us a little more progress on the story, give us a little bit more of She-Hulk's family, you know. But yeah, they dialed the woke stuff up to like 9 this episode, I think, and I don't know, just it took me away. And plus, I don't really like what they're doing with Abomination character. Like, I understand if they're making him good. I guess that's it's good. Maybe they're trying to spread a message that it's good to rehabilitate, and it's possible to make you know people that went to prison into a good person and rehabilitate them. But at the same time, I mean, Abomination is like the arch enemy of Hulk. I mean, we only explored that story once. I'm not quite ready for him to evolve into a good guy quite yet. You know what I mean? Like, we're running out of really good villains. And I mean, not running out, but I just feel like we're wasting so many good villains. Like, and Abomination is one of those villains. And plus, we haven't even seen the leader. Like, I mean, if we're bringing back Tim Roth's Abomination, when can we get some word on what's going on with that guy that got some of Hulk's blood in the 2008 version of Hulk? And he dropped on his forehead and his head started expanding. Like, what happened to that? I mean, that's in that movie. And if we're referencing that as part of the MCU, that means the leader has been out there. So, what the hell is the leader doing? But so my thoughts on this episode, guys, there's a lot of cringe moments, definitely a lot of cringy moments. I mean, I can't say I didn't, enjoy some things about the episode. Um, I thought, that Facebook page of Wong was kind of funny. I thought Tim Roth and Tatiana Maslany had some good chemistry, discussing their case and working together with the council members. I can't say I like how Tim Roth is playing off the character now, kind of relaxed, like a already high ex hippie stoner that's been to Woodstock 50 times in 50 different lifetimes, and this is the 51st life, So I don't know, but uh, I might hold off on doing any more reviews on this season um, until all the episodes has come out. That way I can just do one review. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I might still do it since there's really nothing, no movies really coming out, and there's only really TV shows. I just, I like. I would like to talk about things, give reviews on things that I enjoy, and I'm not really enjoying too much She-Hulk currently. Not to say that, I mean, because we do have what, 5 more episodes left. So I mean, maybe it'll get better. And I do want to see what happens to Hulk, and if they're ever going to touch bases on that again. And I do kind of want to see what happens with Daredevil. But they really got to tone it down on the woke shit. I mean, to be honest. Come on, all right? Already know, all right? I wish they could just put like a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode, be like, all right, just let you guys know if you guys are a male, you suck. Just let you know. I just want you to know you all suck. And then like, okay, now we just get back to the story. I don't know. Can we just do that? Can we just put a disclaimer? Just put whatever, messaging or whatever at just the beginning, kind of like a disclaimer or disclosure, and then just get over it. Whatever messaging you want to give us, doesn't matter. Whatever. Don't tell us you hate us, that we're ponies flying over a rainbow, whatever. You tell us whatever. I don't give a crap. Just put it in the beginning and then don't ever mention it again. But anyways, guys, that's my opinion. But I might give it one more episode. I might, but we'll see. But anyways, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope if you guys are enjoying this show, I hope you are. I hope you are. But this is my thoughts, and I hope you are enjoying the show. That would be great. But hopefully the MCU gets better. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys on the next one. If you guys did like the video, hit that like and subscribe button, help me out, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys.